What's up, guys? Hey, what's up, investors? How's everyone doing? Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to be looking at AMD, which was 2019's top performer in the chips. Rose up 148.4% of 2019. Again, completely monstrous run. Is it too late to buy in? Have you missed the wave? And so forth. These are the things that we'll be discussing today on the show. That being said, we're going to be looking at the chart. I'll be looking at some feedback from Seeking Alpha and other various news sources, and just kind of breaking down the technicals and what would be the best for your trading. Alright, so that being said, I read this wonderful little piece. Let me pull this over. Here we go. So this is Seeking Alpha. Definitely check it out. Been using this for quite some time just to get other people's opinions and so forth. A couple of the key takeaways. This individual at Mott Capital Management, who is long currently in AMD, is saying that the call options for the $60 strike price is extremely bullish in February of 21. Saying the open interest has raised to nearly 14,100 contracts just this past Friday. So what does that mean? That we don't know if it's long or if they're short it or they long that particular call. That just means there's an overwhelming new interest on this contract here. And we can show that here in the chart as well. When we flip back over here to the chart, we can go to trade. They said the 21, and then I need to open interest. You see here the $60 price is it's at 18,000 now. So that's quite a significant amount of. So people could be just doing a call spread on buying the 50s and selling the 60s for that potential upside into earnings. I can break down that a little bit more in detail, but that's just the gist of it, of how people might be playing it. Let's go back to the article. Well, basically, it's just been a huge influx, meaning there's a lot of demand for this. So it's usually a lot of people trade on these various indicators on certain options prices. Open interest goes up within a short period of time, meaning there is some huge firm or a huge hedge fund that is making a significant bet. So this guy's technical understanding. He's showing a chart of a potential pullback to like the 48-ish. Even down to like the 43 level for the potential upside of another 21% to that would make it to the $60 price target just in the February. And that is within reason because you can see his trend line here has been going up to the right, which is great and fantastic if you're long, and showing the RSI is also slightly compounding with the sort of double top and basing we have here. We're going to show this more on the charts that I like to use because it just makes more sense for my head. So, for example, just to be completely clear, I've been in since I sold it already. I should probably get rid of this. I got in around 17, probably sold around 30, and I know, mistake, right, guys? I just couldn't get back in. I just couldn't get myself to buy here. Anywho, that being said, mistakes have happened. I have a price target currently at $62.23. It should be like 62.5. I always go slightly below it just so that I get my indicators marked. So looking on it at a daily chart, it's performing very well even into 2020 here. It's kind of popped off, kind of creating a base here. I could see this closing here, kind of filling the gap at the 46, just like the individual said on Seeking Alpha. Coming back to like the 45 level potentially if the market overall kind of goes down this coming week or the following week. Then potentially building a base in the tight range here and going higher. Let's break it down a little bit more. You can kind of see here the momentum. These darker blue lines are kind of coming off, which is kind of representative up here. Then with the momentum indicators also going down, RSI slightly pointing down, Jacob Money Flow, and it's kind of pointing down as well. Again, these are just could be potential buying opportunities. On the weekly chart, it hit on the top range of the RSI, which is at, I keep mine at 80 percentile. You saw what happened in September over here, where it kind of broke through for about 3 weeks and then kind of came off into earnings. And then after earnings, it kind of took off again. I'm trying to see, it's hard to see within this like pattern here because it's just in the last year. It kind of comes into earnings, so this could, I wouldn't say it's going to sell off, but it could come lower to like the $43 to $45 price level, which we want to make very well aware. So let's create an alert at or below. There we go. So if it comes into this, we definitely would like to buy, not a full position, starter position, and just going off there. Another technical term that the gentleman used, or the hedge fund, whoever the guy is used a blow off top. So basically what a blow off top means, it indicates that this top right here that has happened, this most likely will consolidate, maybe hitting the lows of this top, which is the gap here, building a base and then potentially going higher. Again, this also matters with the overall trend of the whole market. This is very important on the whole market. This chart I've been showing a couple times here on the channel. This is my 1, 2, 3 deviation channels from the medium or the range of the stock. You see here has poked out multiple times out of the third deviation. Remember, what happens is it's a little too cold or too hot out there, and the tickers or the stock needs to come back in to get warmed up or cool down, depending on what happens. I usually say it gets too hot when it's up lower, and it gets too cold when it comes back. It's got to get back in the warmth. That being said, it's kind of been bouncing around on the very low on the second deviation. So this could be a potential buying opportunity as of Friday. But with this huge kind of red down and closing at the lower end of the candle, I would like to see what happens Monday. Again, I like to be safe rather than sorry. This could just pop off and open up at $49 tomorrow morning. We'll see, right? Just kind of giving everyone a game plan on how I would trade this and how I am trading this, and kind of give the learning aspect of that. Then I want to show... Also wanted to share this one other article that I saw from MarketWatch. So CES just happened in Vegas, and it basically gives companies, like technology companies, to push the new technology forward. And the CEO saying that 2020 is going to be huge. It's going to be even bigger year than 2019, with different integrations of its new chips coming out. And she has been performing very well on basically outselling Intel. Not outselling, but outshining, as it says the articles, but just making a switch within the PC market. A lot of people who use AMD, so I'm a PC gamer, so a lot of people back in the day, I'm an Intel guy, I just use Intel, but now I'm seeing that switch on a lot of people. I feel like, hey, listen, like, Intel doesn't have the juice anymore. I need to go to AMD. And that just being said, AMD, from that, in my perspective in the gaming industry, is just fantastic on looking on how that demand has kind of switched over the last 18 to 2 years to probably 18 months. I've seen that switch, and that's what recently got me into the stock. But it's going to be a crazy ride. It's always going to be hard to prove a previous year. Like, for example, if you're the New England Patriots or whatever, if you win the Super Bowl, the expectation is to win it again, of course. But that likelihood is going to be very difficult to achieve, even though you made a 150-ish% increase in your stock in 1 year. Fundamentally, and probability, honestly, is going to be, it's very difficult, and kind of odds are kind of stacked slightly against you. But I am extremely hopeful for AMD, and I have some price targets set. just do a quick overview on that. I'm looking at the $62 price up here for potentially after earnings. I don't think we're going to get there before earnings. I can see us trading in around like the $50 to $45 range into earnings. I kind of see this consolidating and then potentially going higher into earnings, which is, I believe, at the end of January or beginning of February. Not 100% sure yet. This little indicator doesn't tell me if it's official yet. They're just guessing it's around the 28th of January. But that going forward, we will see. Again, we'll look at some more analysis in a little bit. Volume right here. We haven't been trading too heavily in the volume here. You can see usually here, again, earnings slightly bump up, but it's been fairly quiet, like compared to just last year on how much the volume has gone up and down. It's still in a bullish trend. I just don't like to buy the very tippy top, which some people do, but it's coming into earnings. I would kind of let this trade sideways, start a position, and so forth. But that is my overall looking at AMD. So if you have any comments, questions down below, please let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. This is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor. Catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.